July the 6th, 2019. Guys, you're looking at seismograms that measure earthquakes in the California area. Not all are active, but the one near LA is, and it's called Sunset Peak. I want to go back to Wednesday, July the 3rd, before the quake started. And at the top, you can kind of see the average activity. Then we start to see a little intensity as far as the number of small quakes pick up there on the 3rd. Now, if we move this up into the 4th, where we saw the 2 6-point plus quake strike, you can see, again, pretty basic activity until you get around to 1900 hours in that area, 1800 hours. And these charts, guys, go throughout the day, but each line that you see is a different color in their 15-minute increments. Again, July 5th, yesterday, we can see the larger quakes come in. Then notice when we come into July the 6th, everything changes. This is the 7.1 and Aftershocks. This carried on for quite a long time. And again, looking at the Aftershocks from the 5th and to today, there's a big difference. This is current. This last line at 1900 hours, just before 2000 hours UTC time, is where it's ended. Notice the Aftershocks. That's, again, a 15-minute line. You're going in there about 5 or 6 minutes. So what am I talking about is if we look at the difference in the intensity from yesterday after the quakes and the 4th until today after this 7.1, there's a tremendous difference. Going back again, look at July 5th, and we'll look at them both side by side. There's a big difference. Why is that important? Because when you see a big quake and you see a lot of aftershocks, that means the pressure is still building. Remember from the video yesterday? So again, we're looking at going into the 6th today, and look at the aftershocks along this after the 5th. Totally different than the intensity and the strength that we're seeing now. Also, we'll look at the USG earthquake map, and again, it correlates with what I'm talking about. This is important because if we're building to a stronger quake and the aftershocks are this much stronger, we really need to pay attention. Again, side by side, July 5th, July 6th. Look at the difference. You see aftershocks on July 5th, but they're very small. The larger ones are not that numerous. And the end of the 5th with some of the stronger aftershocks yesterday, guys, at a 1.2. That's totally changed today. Look at the difference in the intensity. Let's go to the map today. This is all magnitudes. And you've had 128 quakes today. Look at this. Now, the strongest was a 7.1, and as you look at the aftershocks, 5.5, 5.4, 5, 4.9, and these are listed as far as intensity. You have to go a long ways to get to the 5th because there's been so many. But notice, as we go there on the 5th, right here, that's the last one at 2100 hours. It was 1.0. Then it, right here, at 7.5. Then at 7.6, 1.0. And so that continued until that large quake. But again, if you go back up to the top of this, and we will, look at the intensity difference. These are 1s and 9s on the 5th. Again, until the 7.1 today, there was you had a lot of aftershocks, but the intensity was not that strong. But that's a totally different story now. Look at this. These are all today, going way down to that 1.0. The intensity has picked up. I know it's kind of an overload on data, guys, but in this situation, every little piece of information that we get helps, that we can, again, put together, correlate with what we're seeing. We know that this should be picking up because we looked at the solar situation, and the solar wind and density is going to be increasing. Now, on those charts and the time that we looked at in the earlier video on this solar activity, there's a plus or minus 7 hours arrival time. That's the window, and that varies because of the different changes in the solar wind speed. But guys, right now the intensity is picking up. It's obvious, so I want everyone to keep a very close watch on the situation. All of these links are on our website at bpearthwatch.com. Guys, it's a heads up. Be safe.